Welcome to another episode of Solomon Secrets, a show for entrepreneurs who are looking to grow and scale on the fast track without all the stresses, costly mistakes, and unpredictable strategies. You can use my proven strategies and tactics to grow your business. Now, let's get into today's episode.
All right, so in this episode, I want to talk about pricing strategies and products. I get this question a lot. And that is, Solomon, how many offers should I have? How many different plans? Good, better, best. If you ever heard the word good, better, best, that's 3. That's it. Good, better, best. So some of you guys have too many product lines, like 14. And your prospects, the longest sales call you should ever have is 45 minutes. And if you're in a sales call longer than 45 minutes, your sales call is too long because most people cannot retain that much information. All right. Our attention span is worse than a goldfish. At this moment, goldfish has better attention span than human beings. So sales calls, in that 45 minutes that if you have it, how many products can you really go over? What I want you to do is cut all of them back. And I had to do this over and over and over and over and over. It's called pruning. Cut the things that you don't need, no more. Just like Steve Jobs had to get rid of products when he came back to Apple. That's an episode in itself. But long story short, consolidate to good, better, best. Okay, some of you guys are really hard to let go of your products. I'm giving you the permission to have a 4th one, but just don't even put it on the page. It's for that one odd reason that you believe somebody needs it. Great, that's fine. But you're going to be successful with 3. Even look at Starbucks. Tall, grande, venti. Which one do I get? In case you didn't know, is grande. I barely get venti. You need me to have no sleep for me to get venti. And the reason why I'm suggesting this is that your customers need to be able to decide one of those by the end of your sales call or within 24 hours or so of you getting off of that, because that's when they're emotionally really, really hot. So what I want you to do is, and this is the struggle that I have every single day with our partners, business owners that I work with. I see their offers, it's all over the map. And there's nothing wrong with that because you're in the business, you're a practitioner. You just want to custom create everything all the time. And unfortunately, it's just not scalable, right? It's not scalable. So get rid of everything. Look at patterns on how people have been buying and say they usually have this together, they usually have this together, they usually have this together. And create 3 of them if you don't have one yet. If you only have 2, I would create an entry-level product to the 2 that you already have. Okay? That's an episode in itself. And I call that the Model 3. I don't call that anything else. In my world, it's Model 3. Model 3 is the cheaper version and it sells the most. So most partners like I have, they have the 2 high-end, the 5K and the 10K or whatever. Then I say, look, you need to create a $2,500 product because a lot of people may not be able to afford what you're trying to do. And you want them to get a good taste of what you have to get in the door. I myself don't have the low end because I'm always working on the higher ticket products. But if I were to create something new today, it would be the lower end version of it. So my real purpose of this episode is, what is the pricing strategy, Samuel? How much should I charge? I'm a believer of higher ticket, which is why I need to have a lower one. Higher ticket than the lower ticket, because the level of support that I want to give is more hands-on, one-on-one touch, right? Like more one-on-one. If you want to give more one-on-one, you need to charge more. And the customers feel better. They get a better experience. They're going to tell their friends about their amazing experience. And the other best thing is, it's the fastest way to $1 million. If you didn't know, everything that we do, we measure it by, did we make $1 million doing that? If we made $1 million doing that, we're going to do more of it. If we didn't make $1 million doing it, it's not happening. So it's like my philosophy. So number 1, it's the fastest way to $1 million. You give them a higher touch. And if you want low touch, if you don't want to give them low touch, which they don't feel as good about it, but then you can create lower end products. But I'm always a big believer of higher ticket, more hands-on. They can talk to me if they want to, but I need to charge them accordingly. Does that make sense? So our team is constantly working out, what do we do to make the lower end product when all of our current product line is super high touch and it might be more expensive. Like our prices are like starts at 5K, and it puts a lot of people out, but we believe the people that we need aren't those people yet, right? So we're working on something that's lower end. But most importantly, when it comes to your pricing, good, better, best. So ours is like 5, 10, 15, if that makes sense. And we know the personas of each one. We know what we can do for them. And most importantly, somebody who is on the low end, we know what to offer them in the tall that is going to fix their needs now. And if they ever want to upgrade, that they can. There's so many things to it. It's super cool. Start small and pay the difference. Get the medium plan. Pay the difference. Get the large plan. But if your problem is so big, you need all of this help, then pick the most expensive plan, but it's also the one we're doing the most amount of work for you. It's going to have the biggest impact. But if you don't have the problem or don't have the financial means, the other two are equally going to satisfy your needs, right? Does that make sense? Like a tall coffee and a grande or venti is still coffee, but it's more of it. You're getting more value and you're paying more for it. In our case, it's not exactly just more of it. They're getting more things with it. Does that make sense? But we were able to take all of our little product lines, all of our different variables, all of the stuff that we do to consolidate it into 3 plans so that our sales calls aren't even 45 minutes. It's 25 minutes. Our customers are already primed to know exactly what we do. They don't know how much because we don't really publish prices, but they know A, B, and C, and they're able to come and literally tell us, hey, this is the plan that best meets my needs. I obviously need to know more about it and tell me how much it is, your pricing plan and this and that, and all of that. But you see how I simplified the entire sales process because of that. I've been preaching this since, I want to say, a decade, because the concept came to me once I was sitting at a bank. All right. I'm sitting in a bank. It's Chase Bank. They bust out this big piece of paper and they show you the different credit card offers. Credit card offer A is cash back. Credit card offer B is miles. Credit card offer C is, I don't know, if you got like 5% at gas station and 3% at this. And I'm like, dude, I have to pick A, B, or C. If I'm a flying person, I pick miles because I like the flying. If I'm a cashback person, I pick the cashback. And if I want this really complicated thing, which is like different variables, Staples is this percentage and gas stations is this, then you pick that one, right? If you really care about more, all of that. But the cashback is a flat fee no matter what you buy. I'm like, why can't we make our complicated businesses as simple as credit cards? Because behind the scenes, they're doing a lot of heavy lifting. They have to do all this mathematics, give you cash back, give you flights, give you gift cards, give you this. They're doing all that hard work. But on the front end, they just let you pick 3. And every single scalable entities out there, they have A, B, or C. Seriously, that's it. But when it comes to professional services, people aren't able to really settle down to A, B, and C. And I love that because it makes the sales rep's job easy, because you as the entrepreneur already figured out what's going to be the best 3 combinations. And it makes the customer's perspective super easy to make a decision. It's process of elimination, really. What is it that I don't need? I don't need the most expensive plan. Then you're already down to 2. And psychologically, having the second plan, like the middle plan, it kind of like, that's the one you want everybody to pick anyway. It's not the smallest, not the most expensive. It's probably the one that has the highest value. And so they end up picking that. And so you get something from a decision-making perspective simple. I think the middle one is what I want. It's cost-effective, and I'm also not getting some of the things I don't need. And the low-end one is probably, you know what I mean? It's like if you're buying the low-end car, you kind of have like maybe not the leather interior, but the middle ones come with leather interior. But it doesn't have like the most expensive sound system, but you don't need it. That's the $70,000 model. Like you don't need that one. I'll go with the 55. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a car specific person, but you get the idea. It's not the 30K. It's not the 70K. It's the 55K. Okay, great. So if you have 15 plans And if you don't even have it down yet, that's the first thing you need to do. It's the first thing. Simplify your products down to 3. And that one person that is going to email me that has the 4th plan, do not publish it. That's Starbucks Trenta. You know what I'm saying? They don't have it on the menu. And so it's for that one time, because entrepreneurs just cannot, for the life of them, like, simplify their business. They want to make it as complex as things. Let me tell you, complex does not scale. Complexity does not scale. You want simplicity. Simplicity scales. And if you can't explain this to somebody else to sell for you, if you can't hire a person to explain all this and say, you're going to be my sales rep, you already have an unscalable business. Trust me, you have an unscalable business. If you think you're the engineer and you have to be on every sales call, you're screwed. You want to get as far away as possible and manage the whole entire thing. All right? And that's a scalable business. These are principles, guys. I'm going to write a book about this. Okay? So let's get down to business. 3 options, 3 price points. You take all of the best features and you put your customers into 3 different personas. Literally, the person that buys A is the one that's looking for value. They want the cheapest. They just want to get in. They want to just say that I got the Lexus. They really don't care what is inside it. They just wanted the name. All right? So person number 2 is looking for something a little bit more. Person number 3 is always over the top. I'm the best. I'm the guy that gets the bells and whistles. Or I got this particular problem and I got the money and I want to solve it. Never want to see this again. This is where you go with the high-end interior, whatever it is. You get the high-end filter for your HVAC system. You know what I'm saying? This is that person. Whether they have the need or they just like to always have the best one to ever never feel like, shoot, I should have bought the better one. I wouldn't have this issue. Sometimes it's me. When it comes to certain things, I don't want to deal with the second best, right? So, and that's probably you when it comes to certain decisions. Everything is made emotionally, right? It's not logical. So certain things, I'm like, dude, I need the high end. Some things, I'm okay with the lowest one. I just need to have it. It's every decision is different. But the fact of the matter is you need to make that buyer's journey, their life, to be super simple. If you put anything more than 3, you're going to lose more people than you think because they just cannot settle down. If anything, I would go, if you've really proven that you only really sell 2 out of the 3, just go to 2 options. You mastered it. You just have A or B. Make their life even simpler. But most entrepreneurs are dealing with 10 and 14 different products and different plans. If you really have that many services, are you really even scalable anyway? How often do you even sell those things? Seriously, think about it. How often do you sell the 7th thing, the 8th thing, the 9th thing? If you don't sell them, it's time to get rid of those things on a menu. If you ever watch those restaurant TV shows where somebody comes in and does a complete makeover, what they do is they take their 7-page menu, turn it into 1 page, and they get them more sales, and their kitchen knows how to scale like all the services. And the people that come in, they're like amazed at the food because you have time to spend on quality. You have time to spend with the customer as opposed to trying to fulfill everything on the menu. All right? Like whenever I see this, I'm just thinking to myself like, man, I need to create more content because I'm still not reaching the mass market on what they should be doing. So I hope this has been helpful for you. And that's precisely the purpose of these little mini podcasts, is to be able to drop super problematic things and value that people like struggle with and be able to give it to you. And I don't care where you are consuming this. I want to make sure that you're able to implement this and then send me a message. All right. Send me a message. Simon, that's amazing. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was freaking awesome. And my sales have never been better. That's exactly what I'm looking for. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I'm glad that you're getting value out of this. And I've been meaning to do a lot of this. It's just like, you're going from calls to this, to that. And I haven't been able to execute. I hope to be consistent. But I'm going to need your motivation. The only motivation I can use is you messaging me and calling me, texting me, DMing, whatever way of getting a hold of me and telling me that this has been helpful. All right? That's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.
That wraps up another episode of Solomon Secrets. We hope you're not only inspired and motivated, but now informed on how you can execute and scale your business today. If you have any questions on what we discussed on this episode or any other episode, I want you to DM me, as I want to do everything I can to help you scale. If you enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with a friend, and be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss another episode. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you next time.